Recording.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody. Hopefully this recording turns out well. We're excited to bring you guys along with us. This is the Saluda Township Board meeting here for Q2, just an annual Q2 meeting. I'm going to start off calling the meeting to order. It's 7:10 p.m. here, and I'm also secretary, so I'm going to be stopping and typing a little bit as we go. I'm going to say the meeting was opened by reading the previous meeting's minutes. At which point I will start now. So previous meeting was held on March 23rd. Meeting was called to order at 6:00 p.m. with Corey, Nora, Anna, and myself in attendance. The previous meeting's minutes were read and approved with no objections or corrections made. The opening topic was in regards to the difference in balance of the township's accounts, which was inherited by the previous township administration. This difference is equal to $126.49. As a result of the difference between $59,895.85, which was the updated cash on hand amount for the general fund, from $60,000 or $60,022.34, which was reported at the end of the 2024 fiscal year. Corey has been in in-depth communications with the State Board of Accounts and gained approval to decrease the general fund balance by the amount in question. Anna made a motion to approve the change, seconded by Nora, and voted unanimously in favor. Basically amounts to a bookkeeping fix. Corey noted that his bond as the trustee was recorded in the recorder's office in the amount of $30,000. On the 11th of January, Corey coordinated with a member of the community to provide an emergency refill of their home propane tank, with the understanding that they would complete an assistance application as soon as reasonably possible. However, as of this meeting, the community member has yet to complete an application. Corey will be following up with the certified letter to request the completion of the application and keep the board informed of the progress of this event. Corey noted that he has obtained his trustee notary stamp for use as a service to the community. Corey informed the board that he provided a lawyer with the public information access documents requested by Barry Osterman. The lawyer provided Corey with an official response for her, indicating that some of the information was protected and not required to be provided, while the rest of the information has been organized and provided digitally to satisfy her request. Corey has been researching a couple of options for a 360-degree camera for use with the recordings of the township meetings once required. The members deliberated and decided to purchase the OWL model, which is this model, which seems to have more reliable quality specifications than other models that were considered. Nora motioned to make the purchase, seconded by Anna, and voted unanimously in favor. To date, no one from the Jubilee Association has reached out to coordinate with Corey to arrange a mutually agreeable date to discuss park improvements. Aside, the members discussed making improvements to the existing restrooms as a focal point for this year's efforts. Anna made a motion to approve these improvements, seconded by Nora, and voted unanimously in favor. Corey reported that he discovered evidence of a tractor or similarly sized vehicle with agricultural tires had driven through the gates and over the leach lines for the functioning restrooms, which is obviously unacceptable due to the structural integrity of the park roads. The board recommended expediting the installation of security cameras, changing the locks to the gates, and adding a combination lock box with a spare key located somewhere accessible to authorized personnel on the property. Mowing, as in property maintenance bids, were submitted and reviewed by the board, and the winning bid was awarded to Dale Anderson, contingent upon some minor negotiations in the amount of $4,000 for the 2025 mowing season, with the Fire Family Lawn Care as a backup alternative. Anna made the motion, seconded by Nora, and voted unanimously in favor. Corey informed the board of a new law requiring debts and contracts to be reported to the Gateway. He reported the board with the annual contract between Saluda Township and the Hanover Volunteer Fire Department, which was signed by the board at the meeting. to be submitted annually henceforth to satisfy this requirement. Finally, Corey reported being diligent about following up with the progress to correct the township's entity and EIN number with the IRS. And while no new notices have been received in some time, the township has still been filing and paying taxes as required by law. The meeting was adjourned at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are the end of those meetings minutes. Does anybody have any suggestions or alterations, amendments, anything of the sort?
I think those are excellent minutes.
The
I
minutes
think it's all everything.
were approved by the board. Okay. Corey, what do you have on the itinerary for this evening?
Yeah, so right out of the gate, I'm gonna say gates a couple times here. We've opened the gates. So per what we have tried to do, what we wanted to do all along was to get the park accessible to the public. We've done that. Today was the first official day where we drove away without hesitancy. We installed the cameras. There are a couple more cameras yet to go to cover the back portion back there, the bathrooms. But other than that, that will come in the near future. So that's that. As far as other park business, I am also meeting with a gentleman to talk with about grants for playground equipment, whatever. When he and I talked, I don't remember the date of this training. I can't remember if I talked to you guys about going to this. No, this is 4/16. So no, it's since then. It's since the last time that we talked. I went to a community foundation grant seminar that they put on. He and I spoke. He wants to come out and look at what we're doing and make sure that when we go to apply, that we've applied appropriately and crossed all of our T's and dotted all of our I's the right way, so that we have the best chance of, potentially receiving some money in assistance. So, some of the things that he had mentioned is that, if you've got a project, they like to see that they're not the only people funding it. Well, we have been already applying our own money to it. And so this would just be in addition. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to meet out here about that. The other things going on at the park. This is the guy that did our fence, Tony Hendren. I know that everybody here knows who he is. He's worked up a quote. So he and I met out here a while back. And I know, like we'd already discussed, to start the repair of the outhouse, so that we have some, the people coming out here, they have somewhere to go to the bathroom, and we're not just opening up the block building, the block bathroom, for the damage to that, the potential. So he's wonderfully, and there was a few things. There is some damage to, there's some soffit damage to the block bathroom, the one with the water in it. So this quote includes that. It includes complete remodel of the outhouse. It includes 2 coats of paint here on the fence, because it's time to paint the fence that he built last year. And also we talked about where we'd had some of these posts where the Eston and the Jubilee guys had already put some concrete down where posts were starting to rot off. He's added in there for the back wall where they're getting rotted off. So then when I was out here another time doing some work, I thought, why don't we also see how much more it would cost? After we got this quote in, I thought, man, that's pretty good. That still allows us some money, some flexibility in our budget, what we've budgeted this year for park repairs. So I had him shoot me a quote to paint the shelter house here. So it would include, He just was here today, so I don't have it written out other than just verbally. He was here just moments ago. The difference here, and this is where we want to kind of decide, I guess, which route to go. The $4,100 for the same kind of paint that would be on the sides to go on the roof, versus $4,400 to have the roof in the aluminum coating. The reason it's more, the paint itself costs more, and it's more of a roll-on and type deal where the sides would be all sprayed on, you know, so.
What were the two prices?
$4,100 for just spraying everything, and then $4,400 to have the side sprayed and then the top rolled with that aluminum coat. So
I think we have some experience with that rolled on aluminum coating, and I believe it's thicker and kind of more tar-like, and it's going to be more durable, I'd say, especially around trees and things falling on it. It's going to be,
Nice.
it's going to be, to me, an extra $400, $300-$400 for that extra insurance, I think.
But this is on top of that too,
yeah,
right?
so all together, if you add them together, you're gonna be at like 14,000. I can't add, sorry, 15,000, about $15,200, give or take. 44 and the grand total for that's 9,862. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Because he's gonna, we looked, and you can go over there and look. I mean, he's gonna rebuild the toilets. He's actually, the urinal in there now is like a steel box that somebody made, and it's all rusted out. So he's actually gonna put in like a waterless urinal. So it's gonna be a porcelain urinal. Replumb it over to go down. We'll, there's one of the access ports to the sump, that we're gonna put a little steel plate across. So that's just a safety thing. Complete new roof, fix the slats, fix any of the wire mesh that's around, put doors on there. It's all laid out there, power wash it, paint it inside and out. He did recommend on the fence, he recommended that the fence be painted black. He said in his experience, that the white doesn't do the white like he would do on the buildings. And because originally I was just like, well, whatever works. And he said, well, black for him, it lasts longer for him. It does better for longevity. So
Something to do with the pigments or the materials in the paint, something that just holds up to UV and sunlight a lot better, whether.
yeah,
Wouldn't have thought that.
yeah. So, yeah, I think we'll move forward with that.
I'm actually really surprised at that quote. I wondered if we'd be able to get the outhouse with what we had.
Well, I was
That's
too,
what I was
so this is gonna leave us some room for rock,
Yeah,
which is exceptional.
great.
Oh, shoot, I'm glad I talked about that.
Rock?
I'm glad. All right, so transitioning, so we're good on that, right? Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I've got the 9862 was the original bid amount, but you guys talked about some extra stuff. And you said you're thinking that might bring it up to about 15.2.
Yeah, 15.2 is what it looks like, yeah.
The.
And he wants to have that done by,
Yeah, well, we had talked about doing some concerts in the park, and the main band that I had lined up, they've recently had a family member pass away, and that's not gonna go through. So now I'm kind of on the back burner I want to find another band. And that's what he was asking me when that would be, when that concert might be, because he'd like to make sure that that's done, because that will help alleviate, any stress to the current bathroom, right? So there'll be some people that'll just be able to go in there and go number one and try to reserve the block building number for the more serious exchanges.
Should we label that?
Might want to.
Casual
But,
exchanges.
So the next thing that I want to talk about is seal coating. When I came over and looked after the kind of the weather broke, I noticed that the seal, we put money in the seal coating of the court last year. And I was extremely disappointed to see that a lot of it came up. I immediately called the seal coating guy, who was immediately as disappointed as I was, and was Johnny on the spot about saying he would come over and do it and make it right. Couple weeks go by, the weather finally gets right for him to come over here to try to make it right, and he's over here like 5 minutes, and I get a phone because I had to let him in, and then I left, and then he gets, and just 5 minutes down the road, phone rings, and it's him. He's like, "This is not going to work," he said, "and let me explain to you why." So many years of tree sap and dirt and everything is why it's not sticky, didn't stick. It's a kind of just a major learning process for evidently all of us. So what he wants to do is, and I've already talked to Dale, our mower guy. He gave me a quote of $500 to come over here and pressure wash everything, trying his best to avoid some of the paint, like the lines, right? But unfortunately, you can go over there and kick a few of the places in the lines where there's definitely like a lot of sap or a lot of, a lot of dirt that was underneath of it. And you can go, like I said, you can go over there with a leaf blower and it'll just kind of like come up in places. And so, we're going to get Dale to get that clean. And that's one of the reasons why in here hasn't been pressure washed off yet. It's because I told him to hold off there's no need for him to bring everything over here 2 different times. So I just want to run it past that. We're going to do that. Once it's pressure washed and clean, seal coating guy is going to come back, make it right. And, he'll bring some paint and fix any of the lines that aren't right, after they get done. So, I'm glad something triggered my mind to say that, but, so there's that. But as far as, I guess I would say, I think we're going to have, just going on down, yeah, budget and meetings. See, all this makes me, yeah.
Outlined, yeah.
We're going to have to meet, if you remember the way that we changed our budget meetings to earlier in the year last year to accommodate everybody's fall schedule. We need to, this evening before we all leave, we need to look at our calendars and try to get some of that same lined up so that we go into the fall with all that already taken care of. One, because some of the things that we'll talk about a little bit later, one of these new laws, we have to have a capital improvement plan, which was technically supposed to have been done years ago. Like I think it was originally brought about in 2018. And that was part of the training that I went up to. I'm sure you guys saw that I was up there in Indy. And that's part of all that laws that we can talk about a little bit later. But I didn't want to keep any of these guys up for all that, but we're going to have to talk about all that here in a little while. So I think what I'm getting at is as the summer goes on and Tony gets his work done out here and we have more money in the budget for the park repairs, we may want to talk about our options on rock or whatever, whatever.
Making capital improvements to the park.
Yeah, and maybe we wind up, and maybe the extra money that we budgeted this year doesn't wind up in rock, and maybe it winds up having to be also used if we wind up with a grant, maybe, so that grant process, I have to have all that through them has to be turned in, I think by like August 1. So, yeah, so, I think we met twice in August last year is when we did our grant cycle or when we did the budget meetings. And so that's what we'll want to try to do again. So hopefully we'll know something. They're fairly strong idea anyways. I don't know that it's a guaranteed at that point, but hopefully we got something at least penciled in by that point. So, the only other thing, that talked to Eston earlier in the spring, and they had some damage to the bandstand. If anybody want to talk about that or?
Look at it, we just got it replaced with,
Less than a month ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the roof looks great.
If you guys go on the front side of it, there's 4 foot extension on the front. It's gonna stay there a while. When they took the old roof off, it had 10-inch barn nails in it. So it's been there a while. It's been there since 1995.
Wow.
He done a great job on it. We were really impressed with it. We love it.
good deal. When Eston and I talked about that, I wasn't 100% sure, and I'm still, this is something that I have to. It's been on the insurance guy's schedule as much as it's been on mine. We both just can't coordinate time together to actually sit down and him come out. But I wanted to, something that I think is always a good idea, and I've done it at, in my businesses and the farm and my home and stuff like that, is have your agent come out every so often and just kind of go through and talk about things. So I told Eston, I said, I'm not 100% sure if that was on the policy or not, but I said, if something like that gets damaged again, and it does happen to be on our policy, we ought to, if we want to, we can definitely try to leverage that for extra funds, right? So, but again, I don't know if it is 100%. I would think that, I don't know how previous administration had it all set up, so.
everything inside the circle. Jubilee Association.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't even know if it's ever been on the policy or not. I mean, we don't.
No, even our insurance policy. How to treat it, for BP.
yeah. Yeah. So we'll see, but that's just something that I'll talk to him about when I get that chance, get that opportunity.
Just clarifying what buildings are covered and who's in charge of what, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Just a point of clarification so that we make sure that, just like, for example, this big tree here comes down through here, we've liberated some of the money for the budget this year to do that, to make some park repairs, but I don't know what their financial situation is, but even our funds, we don't carry enough funds to be able to repair, to
Build a building.
rebuild this, you know what I'm saying? It would be,
There is only one thing. Power, comes on. I got wiped out once. You. Have to do that whole section. I have the line runs across there. I called up to double times. I feel it hard, and I feel it properly. Trying to fix it, those lines. Have to do it once,
Right.
I mean, they got this section cleaned up good. It's just right back here in the corner where all the power comes through. I was pretty rough.
so you're talking about the service itself?
Yes.
Not, okay, I got you. Not on our side of the meter, on their side of the meter, on the service.
Where it runs, well, it's right across. Yeah.
Yeah. Power company's responsibility.
Right.
Okay.
It's not anything we.
Yeah. Call to Duke and tell him that's not a problem. Well, I'm making a note here now. And that brings up a good point. You'd ask what that brass lock always was. The brass lock, just so you know, on the gate over here, that is the power company's lock, so that they come in and, I called them and told them to have it unlocked so that I could transfer it over this gate. Inadvertently, I think Dale locked it back. And so they were just happened to be down the road here doing some other work, and I pull in, I'm like, they're all like, what do you want? I said, unlock that. And the guy was like kind of off. He was like, holy crap, where'd that come from? You know, so I just carry one around. But
Been there a long time.
Figure out, I around here. That's how they stay with my.
Dale did. Dale did it. Oh yeah, Dale. Yeah, I asked him about it later. It is what it is. Yeah. No, it's all right. It wasn't a problem. Had I had to call them back and go through the hullabaloo to explain to the people that was a 45-minute phone conversation that I'll never get back in my life. That was trying to get the people on the other end of the phone to understand what it was, because they don't know they don't know about that.
That's been there since I was on this.
Oh my gosh, dude, it was rough. I kept having to explain it. And it went through, because the next time I come past, the lock was unlocked. So I was like, well, at least somebody figured it out. So, but they were actually supposed to call me, because what I was going to do is just keep it in hand until it was ready to transfer everything over. So once it was unlocked, something didn't happen to it and go back through. But it's all right. It's good to go. So I guess we can talk about this a little bit more in the future, but unless you guys are wanting to stay the entire time, I'll talk a little bit about township funding and the chances of townships going away is strong. What they're doing is if you remember, we kind of asked it, I think you were at the meeting when we talked about that one bill. It was like Senate Bill 15, blah, blah, whatever it was, where they were just going to dissolve them. Well, that obviously didn't have enough support, and that got squashed. So what they did in turn was create this county road funding bill. And so and the problem is the state, it's just like right now, we just got, we get tax money twice a year, June and December, right? If you look at our bank balance right now, you think, oh my gosh, they got all kinds of money. But by the end of the year, all that money is spent down and it's not there. Well, what had happened in this last legislation is, and we're a member of the ITA and which is the Indiana Township Association, and lobbyists and everything. They kept telling them, like, the townships do not have $750 million extra dollars just sitting in funds somewhere like that. You guys are taking the numbers at the wrong time. Like get real about this. And so anyways, they didn't want to listen. They passed this county road funding bill, House Bill 1461. And essentially what it is, any of your unrestricted funds, so money that you don't have allotted in your budget or that is supposedly just sitting around because they think we have so much, 30% of that is supposed to go into this fund to work on roads in your area. I think the state's going to be very disappointed when they find out that it's not going to be it's not going to be the fireworks that they were expecting, right? So I spent all day, I don't know if you saw on Facebook where I'd been up there to Indy in that training, and there was a lot of talk about all that up there and ways to try to secure your funds, right? And not essentially, because here's the deal, we're all already getting taxed for the roads in this area. Why do you get a double tax, right? And that's the law goes into effect July 1 of this year, and I fully anticipate somebody that's got extra funds suing the state because you're double taxing them for road funds, right? You can't get taxed twice for the same thing, right? And so ultimately, I think, and part of this deal is, and I said that capital improvement plan, I'm trying to keep, we're a small little bitty township. We have in that meeting that I was at, the people that I was sitting next to, he was asking, what our budget was and how many township assistances did we do a year and all that. And I told him, he goes, well, I do that many in a day. And, so we're talking way different types of budgets, but I'm trying to keep Saluda on the edge. You know, I'm trying to keep us up in the envelope. I'm trying to keep us from being just swept under the rug, because July 1, by the end of this calendar year, I fully anticipate at least 30% of the townships not being funded anymore. Now they won't take their money that they have currently from them, but they just won't give them any more tax levies. And that was part of everything that we talked about up there. So,
So, you know, that's not right. So it's making township or that
what are you talking? The
That 30.
That 30%.
from the township.
From
It comes from the township into a fund that is, there's a big, long algorithm about it. And ultimately, as long as we're alive, we still get a little say-so in that money that goes in there. But eventually I see that change it. They'll make another change to the law, right? This is just a, let's poke them and see how far we can get with this. Because here's the kicker. In 3 years, they've done away with all local income tax, coming to any of it coming to us. Now, in 3 years, if you want any kind of local income tax to come out this way, we got to go like the poor on Robin Hood with the change cup to the county and the commissioners and the council going, give us back our lit, right? So the big advice is, you know, we need to start thinking about potential other funding mechanisms. So that was the big thing up there, and I mean it's a real deal. I mean, I like I said, by the end of calendar year, I would anticipate 30% or more townships not getting a tax levy next year. And so when the funds, and if they don't get caught back up and play by the state's rules, or they are just determined they're insignificant enough that they're going to either be forced to merge or whatever comes of it. The problem is they made this law and it's so gray. Like we spent 2 hours asking questions to some of the best lawyers in the Department of Local Government Finance people and all these state gurus, and they're like, that's a great question. We've been asking the same question. Nobody knows an answer to it because it's so open-ended. And that's why I think it's the beginning of, let's see what we can get out of them this time around. And so, if you know anybody in the legislation, tell them, leave my stuff alone, cause it's gonna, no offense to anybody in the world, but I think we all know out here, a lot of times I do feel like we get left out in the dark. And to me, the state, if you place all the control of every tax dollar there is at the county level, and there's no local say-so anymore, and no fault at the county level, but you can
only get spread so thin.
I mean,
things start getting neglected and forgotten about.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna focus where their bread and butter is at.
Yeah, they are.
Well, and the same thing is and we talk about this at the firehouse, is if that happens, we no longer, as a firefighter, we no longer get to come and negotiate with the people that we serve, right? We then have to go to the county. Well, then the county has to think about the county highway department. They got to think about the sheriff's department. They got to think about the 8 or 9 other fire departments in the county, or whoever it is that day, and what park project, what is the big motive then? And at nobody's fault. I think it
Business 101, from a larger scale.
yes. So that's, I just,
We'll continue to monitor.
yeah, there are rough waters ahead, and it's like, here's the rock, here's the hard place. We are on the cusp of falling right into it. So I'm going to do my best to be as attentive to all those meetings and all those trainings that I can go to, and one of the things that I did do and was asked to do, but also kind of I was kind of voluntold, but ask at the same time was to become the Jefferson County Township representative for all the townships to the ITA. Kind of be the liaison between all the folks here in Jefferson County. And so I have coordinated a township trustee meeting to delineate all this information down to the other trustees. So at least we're gonna try. But yeah. More to come.
More to come.
Who knows what they'll be doing on our next meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so then the next thing, I know you brought it up in gates, gates were down again this week.
The gates were down.
Mhm. Yeah, they've been down a couple times, this spring, so I don't know.
What do you mean by down?
Removed off the hinges over there.
Gates have been removed off the hinges.
Gates were removed off the hinges on the double gate, fresh tracks again, so, I mean, I think we know, I don't know. Like we've talked about before, I was approached and told that there was a right of way or,
An easement.
an easement or right of way, some sort of a written agreement. I have not found any, I've not found any record of anything like that.
Have they showed proof of that?
No. Mm-mm. Negative.
I was asked, it was about an easement. There is an easement for the road, parts. Off highway.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about the rear property on the,
So, I've been asked about that a couple, so I know, so. Just a minute.
yeah. I mean, I think it puts us,
They literally took,
yeah, the only reason it's up there is because I put it back up there, lock the gate up.
You mean, look back.
No, they didn't put it back.
Property.
Yeah.
And so they're driving back to that field from here?
Yeah, you
Still
could,
driving across the bathroom stuff. So that's what
well,
happened.
they have to, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, and maybe Eston can clarify this. Do you remember when that septic was put in, where the lines go?
On my mind.
I mean, the only place that they can go is either back into the trees or it has to go underneath the road and out to the field.
That's been a long time now.
I've been here since I've been 15 years old and I
Right.
don't remember that, so.
Wow.
They are that
Yeah.
old.
Dad said he remembered when it got built, but, you know,
Probably about the same show.
yeah. So I'm up for whatever you guys, I mean, it's,
You said
How do
you,
you,
I think check with Snell's. Snell's probably installed that, Snell's backhoe service. They probably installed that.
you think so?
Check with Roger. Roger might know where it was installed.
in addition, we should probably try to make it to where the gate can't come off as easily. Is that possible?
Is there a way?
Roger,
Like Wilson.
Roger would be the only one I know of that would know when it was installed. He's installed half the septic tanks in Jefferson
Okay.
County, so.
It'd be good to know that anyway, just in case.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
Roger would be the only one I know.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm surprised Lum didn't have something to do with it.
Same lump probably there.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably has something to do with it.
I'm not gonna go, I'm not gonna go meet him and come back. I don't think, I think that's a one-way street, unfortunately, but,
It's not that Doug Stanley around.
Yeah.
so that is something that, I mean, maybe you got like, here's what we could do is you could technically weld the hinges on the gates, but then like last year when you guys had the Jubilee,
you need to.
there are times that you do want that gate out of the way because it's a
It
hindrance.
sticks out like
Yeah.
this or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to end up tearing it off, but
What if you chained it with a lock? I mean, you can take it off, but you can't take it off.
yeah.
Right, you can only take it off so far.
Right.
Well, I was thinking that.
Hmm.
We had to do that for trespassers ourselves, so it's got chains all down inside, you know?
Yeah.
Well, what if, so
I was gonna say, if they're not willing to even put the gate back up, what's gonna make them even respect that, you know?
Well, the one thing that we got now is we do have cameras, and so that's,
true.
you know,
So, I remember, it's not, I don't know about a written easement, but I remember having to, you know, come through to get there to farm for some reason on it, but all that farm has been sold to somebody else. And now it's, or some of it, I think maybe not even this one, I don't know what's her name still over, but
I don't know, I know my uncle used to own.
mhm. My dad used to farm it, and when cause, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause when I was originally approached about this deal, I was told that there was a written agreement that I should have it. I immediately called two people, the previous trustee, who knew nothing of that, and then my father, who spent 30 years on the board. And he knew nothing of it. And in the conversation with him, he said, well, there's access on the other side. It's just because that's the way he always came in, was through their side. But I think obviously my assumption is equipment's probably gotten bigger.
size, yeah.
And
I think that farm over there sold to somebody that. Don't know, don't quote me.
Yeah.
I think honor the, there's. Because of that,
yeah,
Which coming through the park with something of that size, I think.
That's not good for the
I've never
car.
seen them come through there, but I always heard that, you know.
Yeah.
you had
You
that
found
one
tire
big
tracks.
That one day, there was
get
big
through.
tracks back there going right over
Yeah.
where we're thinking things probably are that we don't need to be driving over with something that heavy. But to at least put the gate back would be appreciated, like, or at least say, hey, is it okay if I do
The only
that?
time we're gonna have a tractor over here is at 7 days, you know.
Yeah,
like for the Jubilee.
Right.
Unless
Yeah,
you need a
yeah.
tree cut down on it.
Oh, and that's in the agreement, yeah. But
Mhm.
Would they unlock?
it was locked back. But now if we're gonna have it open,
Right.
you know,
What's gonna stop it?
Because I'm 99, like five or so, no, other people, so.
yeah. So, sticky situation for
In
all.
addition to that, do we need a sign that says something, since this is a community, like, no, do we need a vandalizing sign, like no vandalizing, just to make it legal? Does it have to be? You know, on your property, you technically are supposed to have a sign.
I've
to be
been
able to-
wondering about that too, or like, somebody.
Not for them being here, not for necessarily trespassing, but vandalism is not allowed and it's punishable by law type
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah,
you know?
it's, I mean, when you're taking,
I'm thinking you do too.
Hanover Park's got one.
Yeah.
Iron's Park's got one down in Hanover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was gonna talk about some signs here in a little while because I wanna, and the ones that I wanna get out on the highway, I failed to call the state today, but I know a guy that retired from the state highway department. He gave me a number to call like directly to get them to put up some public park, you know, like the green reflective
Yeah.
signs out there. And then I also wanted to put a sign in here that has, because we have the free Wi-Fi in here now, put the password for the guest Wi-Fi on it, and then maybe whatever. I mean, we could do whatever. So,
you can put up, yeah, next to little things like general park rules and, just say.
Yeah.
well, I would say this, in looking at some signs for my business, the place in Hanover has quoted me from fairly inexpensive signs, because I looked at some signs that you can buy out of the catalog for my business, and a lot more. I was like, oh, that's perfect. That sounds like a real good price.
Andrew's he's real good.
Yeah, I was real happy about that. And being a metal sign and all that kind of stuff, I thought it was, because it's gonna look, the signs I'm buying, they're gonna be about speed limit sign size, and I thought, damn, that's pretty good price. So
Yeah.
I can definitely get us some vandalism signs and.
I think you need them.
Probably.
Yeah,
sure.
Liability?
Maybe
They're out
so,
for it.
but that, wonder who
Not
would,
responsible.
yeah, not responsible for injuries type thing.
Okay,
I agree with that for
Yeah.
sure.
Also,
Look at the one in Fireman's Park. It's right down there at the bottom of the hill. It's on that building. It says, it's got a whole big vandalism, something about vandalism and something other. I can't remember.
Use at your own risk, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
vandalism punishable.
That way we're all covered as much as we can
We
be.
can at least say
Yeah.
we told you so.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a common sense element, but there, you know,
Yeah.
we understand the
I
CIA
would-
element too, you know.
I always wondered about that, you know, especially opening it up, installing new playground equipment. That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Oh, we definitely want to, for
The
sure.
liability versus.
The liability, yeah.
Just like for us, for the Jubilee, we make sure the swings are tied up, we tie that off.
Yeah.
That's a liability on our part.
Right.
yeah, oh, yeah,
That's-
yeah,
So we make sure
yeah,
that's just an extra boost for us.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, our policy does cover it. I did look into it enough to know that what they understand that we have playground equipment.
Okay,
And
good.
so I know that much, um,
And you said you're thinking about getting him out here anyway to do a walk around.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
You can talk about all that stuff while he's
Yeah.
out here.
Yep, yep.
Ask him if he has any recommendations on signs.
I also saw where somebody commented on our Facebook post about questions on now that it's open, will they have access to bathrooms and things, or the shelter house?
Mhm.
So I think if somebody does reserve it, you need to get like a reserve sign to hang up so people know.
So they
Yeah.
know it's,
There's some type of like a
A
port
flip.
pause, say you flip the thing and it turns red, something like
Open.
that, yeah.
Reserve.
Well, so on the porter, on that deal, they're gonna have a door with a latch inside. So
Okay.
once they're
They can
inside,
lock
they
it if
can
they
lock,
want.
they can latch it
There
shut.
you go.
So.
Cincinnati.
You may want the door propped open.
Not after last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Not after last year, when I was in the porta potty with my camper and the snake came out
Yeah.
there on the other side.
oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't have to go to the bathroom no more.
But no, I did think about that reserve thing. And so just so you know, the way, and this is, I did not have any intention of having the bathrooms unlocked, the water bathrooms unlocked all the time.
Yeah.
I want to keep those locked up.
Protect those.
I just don't think that's right. I think that if you rent the park, you are making sure that you have this space, that it's gonna be relatively clean per se, and maybe not be spotless, but then you also have access to the running water bathroom, you know? So gates, so you think you want chain them? Is that what we've decided? You guys want
Chain
to?
them to the post.
Yeah, just do another.
Seems like a pretty low
So
value,
how are
I
those
think, to do
pivots in
too.
there?
Like,
Are
it
those
won't-
like leg screwed and it's just like a curved bolt and so it's not like a hinge that you can unscrew.
they'd have to cut it.
You have to
to-
take it off to.
All it takes is a 9/16 to loosen up the hinge on the gate, and it slides right out of the way, slides right off. I had Thaddeus hold one end of the gate up so I could get it in.
All right. Well, they just talking about temporarily removing it
Yeah.
like for Jubilee. And so I wonder if there's a different style of hinge that we can get that will do the same thing where they can't just lift it off. But with notice, somebody can go with a screw gun and unbolt it and get it out of
Yeah.
the way for Jubilee.
Yeah.
And then we can
Well,
bolt them
I mean,
back when
yeah,
we're
that-
ready to seal it back
Yeah.
up.
We would have it. I mean, we put it up before we left anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And relock it all. But-
right.
Yeah, I mean, unless you could hinge it different.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And make it fold back against itself and then it wouldn't be so bad, but then you could weld it in just so they can't come off. But
I think that's gonna be a little more, the way it was
it is,
designed, it
yeah.
is what it is. It's
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna require chains, I
It'd be the
think.
easiest thing.
Chains.
Just-
So chains are gonna keep them from.
Yeah,
Pulling it off. Like they can pull it off,
do
but they won't be able to
all-
really, yeah.
It's not gonna do them much good. Okay.
What you call.
Well,
And you gotta think about it, we're gonna have to get to that field soon.
well,
that's their own property.
Yeah.
They can clear some
They-
woods or something.
They're gonna
I'm
do something.
100% for farmers, but they can't tear up the park. They can't tear up our septic,
Just saying. that-
especially for them doing that.
Rick Stockdale over there, they can come in, pop in, they go the other way. I mean, I'm with you on that. They don't need.
We don't want to lose the septic system.
I think,
Well, and we also don't want equipment here if people got their kids in here,
Yeah.
like that becomes,
Ruts.
I still have a conversation with you, because you don't want to come in and find out the boards are not.
yeah,
Well, at least then they'll be on camera at that time.
Yeah.
Then you know.
yeah.
I guess we could give them a heads up though, is kind of what he's saying. Like
If it's
tell
them.
them that we're gonna say, if you guys are doing this, we're just letting you know,
30 years of,
maybe.
30+ years of history.
Right.
Yes.
And Corey can't, nobody, you can't find a written agreement, there is no written.
Right.
Yeah,
It
Right.
might have been a
Verbal.
date deal.
Yeah.
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 Doug Stanley's handshakes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, what would it hurt to put a few posts up back there just to deter that altogether?
well, there is no fence across that section back there, and that can be something that we can look into. I mean, if, you know, I don't want to extend our budget too far
Yeah.
this
This
year,
year.
maybe that's,
What if we decide to do that next year and give Bronner's or whoever's property that is, X amount of days of notice to let them know that we're gonna fence it off so that they can't go through there?
I mean, that's entirely up to the board.
I mean, I'm good
I'm
with
at the will of
talking
the
to
board
people,
at this point.
but I don't think we ought to allow them any more access.
I don't agree that we should either, but since they've been using it for all this time, somebody has. I don't wanna just suddenly take it away from them and then they be like, what the heck's going on here? Because they may not understand either,
So
you know?
just for full clear, painting the picture here, somebody's coming through here and going either straight back or driving around that loop and going into the field behind the park, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen any tracks to going straight through.
So it looks like they're good driving around.
Every time.
Whatever they're doing, they're getting into the park and using it as a way to access that field.
Mhm.
That's what's going on. So if we close that off and revoke that permission, do they still have a way to get in there? Like they just go around the side road here and going that way, or
Well, that's what I was.
we're not cutting them off from the field at all, right? Like,
That's what I was saying when I talked to my dad about it, was that when he farmed that ground before I was, this
they
has
just
been,
came in from over there.
they came in from the other
Eston,
side
do
of the
you know?
property. Now, I don't
Or-
know,
Is
don't know. if the
something about a
property's
ditch?
changed,
Is there-
you know, I don't know if it's.
Is that just, they just
Probably
can't,
2 separate farms split up now. I mean, I haven't looked at the
The
GIS.
one right behind us is owned by Crawford.
Gotcha.
They
And that's
live,
the,
they
that's,
live in the big brick house there, so on the bank.
He'd have to get permission to do their entity in this lawsuit.
right?
So,
Because we do support farmers, we want to make
Right.
sure they still have a way to do what
That's
they
what
need
I'm-
to
yeah.
do.
Perfect.
I don't wanna completely
we
revoke
wanna work
everything and
with
not
them,
have a plan
against
B
it,
for
but we
them,
also have to
something.
protect our park equipment. So-
Yeah,
so what if, just a shot in the dark, but, you know, there's like a grass strip there and there's always that big opening down there that
I see the opening.
Stockdale, you know, that's the opening that way, and he owns all that field. At one time. Said something about possibly giving a secondary easement to the park. For a driveway there.
It's still in,
I'm just
right.
spitballing, then you just go straight and open and in that way, if it, you know, if that was an option, but.
Because the state doesn't like our Homeland Security doesn't like.
Oh, we get eat up from that area.
Entrance.
oh,
So like.
Yeah.
So we identify that
As
as
an exit.
emergency exit.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
And we talked to Rick at one time. When this didn't look like this in the front.
right.
Really, really bad about just. Let's just, is it a possibility to change that, and make the entrance there? And at one time it was pumped. Not legally, but he said, that's all I'm living, you know, maybe it was an option. I don't know if he would do it. I don't know. You know.
Well, even if they still come in that way, that's, as far as driving equipment over the ladder lines, it's not gonna be any different than them picking these gates up.
Well, if they just stayed along the edge and
If they stayed along the
gone
edge,
out straight.
then they
You
could,
know, that kind of option, just go straight, you know, instead of turn or whatever,
Mhm.
but. I don't know, unless he's giving up, but I don't know who farms his ground over there.
I think it's Bronner's as well, I think.
See, if they farmed it, there's absolutely zero reason for them to come in this park. Unless they're coming in here to go out that hole.
which
You know what I mean? Just to get off the, easier getting in here off the highway than it is down there.
Hmm.
I don't know, I have no idea.
As, when we were actively farming, I had to make a lot of new holes.
Yeah.
When we would pick up places that had traditionally been farmed by folks that didn't have, and we were still a small fish. We didn't have, I mean, they got 40-foot headers and,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we were, our header was 25, you know, and so when you pick up a farm from the guy that's got a 15-foot head, you gotta account for that. And so you know, there was a lot of times I was
Yes.
not, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to,
I mean, our farm's the same way. Everything was made.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when we started leasing the ground
Yeah.
out, the combine don't fit. Well,
Yeah.
I spent 2 summers building that fence, but we just had to tear it down.
Yeah, yeah. There's a big farm out in Kent that we had picked up that the only way in was about half-mile through woods,
Yep.
that the path was as wide as one of these bays, you know what I'm saying? And we had to be able to make a whole combine and the head fit through there.
I mean,
So,
I guess.
I mean, that was a lot of work.
Yeah, I
So,
guess it might be one of those things, instead of just doing it right off the rip, is just to see who's popping it off for, you know,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
Well, if they flew straight through, it doesn't matter, actually.
I don't think that gate's wide enough.
No, that one, they have to go through that,
Yeah,
cause then they can't get anything past the trees, which is
Yeah.
the idea of it,
yeah.
you know.
That's why we
And
didn't
those
build the
drainage
fence any further,
lines.
was for the hope that people, if they decide, if somebody was goofy enough to try to decide to go around the gate all the way and out into the trees, traditionally, that's wetter than wet, and they're still gonna be there. Yeah. Some people don't know about it. So that was why we didn't try to get Tony to build that fence all the way to the wood line, because he'd have had to been digging through roots anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we'll chain the gate. I'll try to make some calls and yay. What?
When you put these cameras in, did you put, those are Wise cameras,
Those
right?
are wise cameras.
So those take an SD card. Did you get SD cards? for
I
them
did
back
not.
then?
You wanna approve me to get some?
Well, I don't think you need approval
No,
for
I
that
don't
amount,
really.
but
No, you
yes. That'll make it to where you have, so these cameras, they record and send recordings to the cloud.
Yeah.
So, and we can view them remotely and get access whenever, hey, there's motion detected, there, you know, there's stuff going on, so we can get notified of that. But they can also take an SD card because those events are kind of spotty.
Yeah.
And they can have some gap between them. But if there's an SD card, then it's a solid recording for a few weeks usually, so.
They're
It's,
really not even that expensive either.
More odds of being able to actually catch anything that happens.
We just wanna make sure people aren't tearing stuff up either, and if we see them doing it, hopefully we can figure out who it is
And
or.
hopefully-
Well, and one of the things
They
was,
figure out
if
we've
we're gonna-
got these cameras, they're not gonna be malicious and start taking
Hopefully.
them out before they come in and do shit, but.
You know, and I always heard part of the reason why, you know, I know that previous administration, and I'm not talking just about the last one, I'm talking about even people before that and before that, it was, you know, we had vandalism out here and kids coming out here and doing donuts and stuff like that. And so, you know, we're trying to limit some liability and some risk out here with the gates and the cameras and stuff like that. But, you know, we're also asking for folks to use some common sense.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Don't ruin it
And-
for everybody.
And unfortunately, in this day and age, you
That's
know, the
few and
reason,
far
big
between.
reason we wanted to have some cameras was some of that stuff, but God forbid somebody come out here and did something, not just vandalism, but something illegal, seriously illegal, where
Yeah,
somebody's being accosted or,
Yes.
yeah.
you know, and God forbid something like that happens, but
Right,
we wanted to provide not just protection for ourselves, but protection
For the
for
people that are using the park.
the occupants,
Yeah.
right? People that are frequenting the park. So, because look, that would be exceptionally terrible.
Yeah.
And these cameras are night vision also, and they
Yep.
look like they're the ones that's got. spotlights on
I
them.
did not, I've shut the spotlight off because I didn't want the light going on every time.
Right,
So
right,
right.
it's the way I run mine. So,
Okay.
And I figured when people, they're gonna be out here during during the Jubilee and moving around after dark, I didn't figure they
Yeah,
wanted
need
those, that light going. Beep.
Show every time.
I didn't want the notification of it all the time, so.
Yeah.
Remind me to get up at 4 a.m. and be like, Corey, get up.
Let's see, moving right along. So we kind of talked a little bit about that training up there. I mentioned all that kind of stuff. I am gonna try to get all the trustees in the county. I'm gonna try to delineate that information down. One of the recommendations that was made up there is if you can find another township that is close to you, merge. If people are willing to merge, go ahead and make a larger piece of the pie. So, all these kinds of things I'm going to bring to them. We've talked about the fire territory before. The one lawyer that was helping me, that I have kind of befriended up there and really like, he said, if you were that close before and you think it would go through now, you should probably see if that would work again. That may be something that towards the end of the year, we're going to be talking about. I'm going to talk to the guys at the firehouse. I'm going to talk to our other adjoining taxing entities. I know they aren't as versed in it as much as you were. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know how.
Who started that whole thing last time? Hanover? You did. Okay,
Me personally,
cool.
I had been contacted. That lady from Baker Tilly, that law office, was coming down to do a presentation, and I went to it and listened to it, and then started circling the troops.
Gotcha.
And it's a real shame that did not go through. Because now you're limited. They passed a law now. 40 cents it's only 40 cents out of 100. Yeah, 40 cents out of every 100 is all you're allowed now. So new laws, new things. We'll see how that goes. I would encourage everybody, let me bring up the date on this. Let me see how I can, from how. If you remember last year, I went to the convention at the end of the year, the big training convention, September 21st to 24th. If you think about that, you want to go, I know you guys are probably, I don't know what you guys are going to be doing, but September 21st to 24th, that's when that's going to be. They have not opened up the true signups for that yet. But this will, if you want to go, Anna, we can go together. I intend to go again this year.
Yeah, you got a lot out of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I feel like by doing this and continuing to be a part of these things, we're going to be able to stay relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going to stay on the cusp of it. I don't want to get behind the 8 ball and then be like, oh, you mean they passed the law to dissolve us and that happens in 2 days?
Yeah.
I mean, there's 900 and some townships in the state. There's going to be a majority of those people that's going to come up and they're going to be like, well, what do you mean? And that's just the reality. You can't tell me that all 900 people, all 900 township boards and all 900 township trustees are staying on target, right? I mean, heck, there was only 250 or 260 represented up there last, when I went up there. So
A quarter?
yeah,
Like
a
that?
quarter, quarter or so. So
That's an indie.
yeah, that'll be an indie.
Noblesville.
Yeah,
Noblesville.
Noblesville, yeah. And well, I want to sign up for that and we'll do what we did, we'll go up and stay and all that kind of stuff again. So, let's see, money wise, we're doing pretty good right now. Let's see if I can't get this. I should have already just download that to to I've been over here talking the whole time and not been able to let my mind follow through with a thought. While I probably screwed up. I better not look back. I probably screwed up and text this. This is the certified letter for the that you guys told me to send to you remember the emergency. Some of that was after talking to people, another learning curve. Emergency assistance doesn't it's my fault that I don't have the application. I'll just say that. I mean, it is what it is. It is. I should have made him do that before even agreeing to the emergency assistance, but it was negative 3 degrees outside. They didn't have heat. There's 14 inches of snow on the ground,
Right,
Good
but they still never did.
So I texted them ahead of schedule. Hey, I've got a certified letter. Explained it to them and they never went and I got it returned to me. So they never picked up the certified letter. So is there a recommendation of the board or are we just going to maintain that they're not going to be able to have access to the township fund, to TA?
So that's a certified letter,
Informing of them of such.
telling them they need to fill out the application.
To be
But
able to be considered.
ultimately, we can't force them because they've already been provided with the
Right,
assistance.
but what we can do is restrict future.
We can make a note of it and consider it for any future applications
Yes.
they may.
Yeah,
I think that's probably our best recourse at this point.
yeah, all right, so that's the way we'll handle that. Funds right now, we're doing pretty good, like I said. We just got paid. We've dispersed just a little bit of township assistance. We're doing actually, I think, quite well for the year. I didn't bring exactly how many we've paid out so far, but again, when you go from doing this big of a stack of TAs to now we're 20 plus applicants a year, I think we're getting the word out that we have assistance for folks and that we're willing to help. So we've changed some lives with that. We've done some good things. We've spent a little money out here at the park, right? We're still budgeted for 30,000 this year, but I had to make some bathroom repairs and some other things. So other than that, our fund balances, for the township, our fund balance right now is just shy of $63,000. The township assistance, we still have just shy of 25,000. Fire fund, now I haven't paid, the fire department does not want their check just yet, which is fine. It's not going anywhere. So that's why this number will come down $18,000 when I cut them a check. So that's a little elevated right now. But $43,000 is where we're at there. And the park fund is holding steady at another just shy of $44,000. Questions, comments, concerns? Now, see, this kind of goes along with the whole, what I was talking about earlier. If the state looks at our money right now, it looks like we've got a whole lot of money sitting in the bank, but by the end of the year, December 31st of this year, that number is going to be vastly different than it is right now.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. PA letter, just to let everybody know, kind of along with that township assistance, the Southwestern holds a food pantry that they do, I think, monthly. They just put it out that that's going to be going on again. In other cool news, I did get us a filing cabinet so that we can graduate from the cardboard boxes that I received everything in. There's a local business called the Office Shop, and I searched and searched everywhere. You'd think you could drive to like Walmart
And pick up the file.
or somewhere. You
Yeah.
think you could drive somewhere and pick up a dadgum filing cabinet.
Nope.
No, you can pick up little bitty ones,
Yeah.
but you can't pick up a full-size filing cabinet, even at Staples.
Nope.
I go,
We went-
What?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we don't carry that anymore. I'm like,
Wow.
yep.
so,
We tried looking for one several years ago. We had to go down to Office Depot or somewhere down there in Clarksville, and it was still like a cabinet style one, like two
We
drawers.
throw them away by the truckload.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
wow.
they
Really?
just, when they get tired of them, they just throw them away. I never say anything because I didn't know anybody wanted them.
well, yes, the 4 drawers, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like a couple more. Whatever here. But so originally when I originally, after finding out that you couldn't just go drive and pick one up, I started finding them, like Amazon or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I just don't know that I want to write a $600 check and then have this lightweight metal object shipped from Amazon. That just sounds like it's going to wind up with a dadgum. Yeah. Something I'm gonna have to wind up either beaten back out or here we spent $600. And so anyways, the lady that did the notary stamp for me, I thought, oh yeah, I'll call her. She's like, yeah, we got them $340. So $340 got us a brand new filing cabinet. So everything is transitioned over and we are no longer living out of cardboard boxes. We're moving up.
That deserves a round of applause.
Oh my God.
The only other, let's see, so that was from the training. We are going to have to kind of coming back to this training thing again. I hate to, but one of the things that has to be done right away, and it's due by September 30th. And this is the piece of the puzzle that is going to cause townships to lose their funding, is there has to be a capital improvement plan. It has to be done. By law, it was technically supposed to have been done in 2018, and then it kind of got swept under the rug. Well, now, this new law, it is an annual deal. You're gonna have to do it every year. If you don't do it this year and don't have it turned in by September 31st or September 30th, you will not receive a tax levy next year. If you don't do it next year, you won't receive it the next year. So this is something that it's not just a one and done situation. I fully intend to leverage the park for our capital improvement plan. I am going to just do my best to justify our money in our township here at the park and benefit the park as best as we can.
It's our primary capital asset, so
Yeah. So, we're going to work on that. And that is something that I'm gonna have to, again, they all said up there at the meeting, they were like, so the best way to get this started, because see, the state doesn't even have the guidelines out for it yet. Like, they don't even know, they made the law, but they don't even know how they really want it to look just yet. So all that's getting why that's still being, let's just say, revamped or built for the current law. They were like, so the best way to start is to go back to your old one and just start looking at that and kind of getting the dust off of it. And I'm like, what happens if you don't have one? Well, you didn't do one in 2018? I said, I wasn't trustee in 2018 and I haven't seen anything like that in any of our papers. Well, then you, sir, have to wait. So, because there's really no guidelines, for me to go off of, because there wasn't one done before. So,
Is there like out in the World Wide Web somewhere, like guidance from
well,
2018?
so I am going to, and I just haven't had time yet, but I intend to talk to some folks at the state level, at the ITA state level, the Southeast director, talk to her a little bit and see if there's something somewhere that I can look at to at least get an idea of what, because the goofy thing about all these laws, and I'm going to talk about this here in just a moment, but you call it, so like the State Board of Accounts wants all this stuff done, right? They're kind of the they're the people that say, yeah, they're the yay or nay type people, right? They're gonna spank your bottom if you've done bad. Well, the problem is like, if you're parenting your child, you tell them, don't go over there and stick your finger in that light socket, right? You've told them, and you've explained to them and you've given them some guidance. Well, no offense to this SBOA, but when you ask them, it's just like this stuff that I'm going to bring up next. When you ask it, so what does that mean? So does that mean that I'm just the only one? All they do is quote the law to you. Well, the law is as vague as,
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody that touches the money has to do it. I'm like, well, okay, well, we technically have a board, so does the board need to do it too? You know, and so finally you gotta have access to somebody that's willing to,
Break it down.
because what it is, and I get it, like they don't, as representatives, they don't want to provide you with an interpretation of the law. So then you could, and the DLGF people are the same way, and you gotta be a little frustrated with them, but at the same time, like I understand they're not trying to, because they'll tell you everything, just like at the presentations that they made up there when we went to the state training. None of this is actual legal advice. Still consult your lawyer, consult your CPAs. And so, you know, they're
Yeah,
CYA too, right? And I get it, but it's just very hard when nobody wants to tell you and they just quote you the dadgum law that I just read and it doesn't make sense either, right? So, so with that said, I'm going to transition and we have already done this and we talked about this. This was something that was identified. And if you guys remember, when we were all elected this last go around, that we were in the middle of an audit. It's normal, right? I mean, all the entities get audited on a cycle. It's not like, I mean, we had been doing some things bad. We hadn't been doing things incorrectly, but there are things that were just,
Discrepancies in the bookkeeping.
there were some that's a good way to put it. Yeah. So the biggest thing, and they're really catching and holding this hardcore right now, is the internal control standards. If you remember, I'd ask you guys to potentially watch a video and how we all needed to be up to date on internal control regulations and all that. I will disperse these. Let's see. Some of this we're going to sign tonight. Some of these things I'm going to send you home with. But I have here 2 resolutions that you guys need to read through and adopt tonight for sure. So that we can get this ball rolling. And without these resolutions and without this going in the board minutes to verify it, we will be up the creek without a paddle. So these are the 2 resolutions. One of them essentially says that we are acknowledging that we have to do it and that there are guidelines that we have to follow. The other one is saying essentially that who is going to be the oversight committee. So essentially, I'd like all 3 of you guys to be the oversight committee. So then that way there's, I think that's the best policy. I think a lot of people have done it that way. And I think you have the oversight committee resolution. Tyler, you have the resolution that's just saying, hey, we're going to follow these laws. And essentially, it's just the checks and balances is what it is.
Is there an appendix?
Yes. Which one do you, let me see which
I
one
don't
you
think
have.
I'm ready for it yet. I'm thinking sure you
Yes, I have
says there's supposed to be an.
the materiality and process for reporting material items. That's what that one is. The appendix for the appendice for the other one is what I have here. And these are the trustee directives saying that I will do this and follow the law and yeah. A lot of this is just, and I'm going to do it here. I'm going to sign my documents here in front of you guys later on. But I have several things. You got some things to sign too.
Just for clarification, what's it, so it's talking about a lot of material items, and noteworthy items. What are some examples of what that's?
Anything worth value. So the material items, like for example, here, this is the sheet that actually if you're handling documents, so section 2 is where it starts listing it. It will be the policy of the trustee to report to the oversight committee of the township board any erroneous or irregular variances, losses, shortages, or thefts of cash in excess of 500. Then the next one is something that is worth $2,000, and then the next one's $500, and the next one's $2,000. Essentially, as if you find issues in your budget,
Report it.
I've got to report it,
Okay,
which
it's pretty standard.
we've already, and what it is, I mean, unfortunately, not everybody in the world is honest. I mean, we see it on the news all the time that people are, sequester, they're
Yeah.
doing funky stuff with money, and they're just trying to hammer out. And whereas I thought this was going to be a one and done situation, this is an annual situation. So,
That's fine.
Do
It's
you
just
have more
saying that we're
copies of
gonna,
this?
I have, I don't have more copies of all of that. I mean, I can email those to you.
Okay,
These are going to be our official signer ones. But just so you know, and we can kind
I
of,
wanna discuss that and look it over before I sign something.
well, so all of these are, copied, they're all the same thing that comes from the ITA. I mean, I didn't directly write them. So this is all the stuff that comes from the state. I mean, we're gonna have to do it. So you'll get one of those. This is the training thing that where you certify that you've done your training.
Right.
So you'll get that one. This one is for me. This one is saying that I'm the only one that actually handles the money. And that I have developed and implemented the minimum level of control.
Is this black?
Yep. You guys will not be officially receiving or dispersing money, so you guys don't need that one. This is the trustee directive on,
It's not great.
yeah, it's me over here. This is the trustee directive with a breakout of how technically the money comes in, who gets to handle it. I don't have a clerk. That's something that I chose not to do in the beginning and cost the township more money. So some of this you also have to understand is built for,
a much
again,
bigger township.
yeah,
than you.
townships that are,
Paid to cover all of them. and a lot of it
using
doesn't even-
multi-million dollars and they have, an office, a full-time office building and stuff like that. So, and then this is the one you want to look at that. That's the one you're not, that's for me, but that's just saying how much money, if I find a discrepancy of $500 or more, that's not easily identifiable, I will have to,
Where do you put here? For X township?
I've already included,
Okay.
in
I
that.
was confused. I'm
Yeah.
like,
So the resolution, that is, I need
Yeah.
those tonight.
Both resolutions.
Well, we'll have that, yeah, you guys need to, motion and accept the resolution.
wasn't that like 3 hours long or something?
Well, you gotta do it again. This is
Okay.
an annual, so
I
I'll
watched that video.
gotta do the video again.
So where do you find that
I
out?
will forward that to you, cause
So
I
we
don't
we
have
don't need to
that.
give this to you now then?
No,
Okay.
hold, I sent.
I thought you were having to sign it for
Take that with
already
you.
watching
No,
it.
take that with
Gotcha.
you. The things that we'll need to do tonight is the two board resolutions.
These two.
One of them's, like I said, you can read through them there. One of them's saying that I've created it and that we're gonna follow it, and the other one says that who is going to be on the oversight committee. And like I said, I'd like to see that all three of you guys be on the oversight committee, so it's not just necessarily one person. So that in the event one's not available, I can go to somebody else if, God forbid something happened.
I'm in a
It's-
township meeting.
It says, president and vice president are supposed
It's
to
okay. You might call Adam in case he's
be on
not
it
feeling
anyway, I
well.
think. I think it's. They were specifically called out.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
It's basically saying that we have a policy to monitor and maintain anything that the township
Yeah.
owns.
Yeah,
Right.
But then,
Yeah.
And then if there's any discrepancies, he's supposed
if we
to let
find
us
shit,
know,
if we
and then we
find
gotta,
stuff missing or
Yeah.
not right, then we report it and fix it.
and it also says in there that one of those lines is not just to the board at all. I'd have to also report it to this. I think the one that she's got, maybe it's right here. Yeah, it's this one that says, this is the one that the amounts. Not only do I have to report it to the oversight committee of the township, but I also have to report it to the state board of accounts. So it's a big checks and balances.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to proceed. It seems like normal course of business stuff.
Yeah.
Except
So,
for we
yeah,
have to
those-
watch we'll refresh on these training videos and we'll
Yep.
sign them and then get them back to you.
Yep, and
Once we do that.
yep,
Did
Yep.
you want this one?
I think I saw it already.
yeah. So if you guys will need to have to, like I said,
So we all need to,
you need to do one and make a
there's
motion.
lines for all, okay.
Yeah, all three, you'll sign that one. Then
Here, I'll
then,
switch out.
and then make a motion and accept the other one. Give her that
Good.
back. That's hers.
Oh,
Train.
sorry.
don't lose your training.
Yeah,
Sign that if you want to.
Mhm.
All right.
Same exact video, right?
uh,
Are they different?
I don't,
Okay.
I haven't even looked at it just yet,
Okay.
but I'm gonna,
You're emailing us, texting us?
I will text you or email you the link to the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer text, if you could.
Yeah,
Emails get lost.
Yeah.
Same.
that's fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I will
to,
not
Is
email.
that okay?
I can, so I can text you
They're not-
and I can
not
text
the-
you, but I can't text us all.
Okay.
Right, that's
Yeah.
considered a
I
meeting.
wanna
Yeah,
be okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He has to call each one of us individually and say, is this meeting day okay?
I'm so confused. I'm so sorry
It's-
about that.
It's,
Okay.
it's all right.
We'll figure it out one step at a time, right?
We're learning.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody needs to make a motion that we implement this.
That you accept. You need to
The
make a motion that you
responsibility of
accept
the-
the resolution as stated regarding, and
Yeah.
just say that, and then.
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution regarding variance thresholds applicable to Saluda Township.
Second.
Third?
Vote.
All in favor?
All in favor.
Alright.
Sounds like something we were supposed to be doing and we just didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't
didn't
know.
know.
I mean, it was one of those things when I came out of the audit,
Yeah.
again, dealing with an SBOA lady, well, you need to get this implemented and they send you the law, but they don't tell you, like, read this. Well, you read this and it's as clear as mud. And then so finally talking to some folks, when I went up there Monday, I was like, oh,
Right.
okay. And so that's how.
And then we need to sign this one?
Yeah,
Mhm.
sign that one and then, and this will make the SBOA real happy with us.
Now, the last time we did that training, wasn't it live? We were all live, weren't we?
No, I watched it.
I get it. PowerPoint type thing.
Maybe we watched something different. I remember him being live and I'm like, are we supposed to like interact with this or?
Could have watched, yeah.
We mentioned something where we were, I don't know, maybe that was something totally different.
Regarding ongoing IRS audit stuff. Or is it something-
SBOA,
SBA
yeah.
audits.
ICC, it's called Internal Control. Can't remember how it's listed.
Yes.
It's called ICC.
No.
But anyways,
It's
it's,
the
it's
same.
the internal control.
Oh, it looks
standards is what
different
it
down
is.
there.
Different.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think we have two that we got to sign,
Yeah,
right?
so then the other one, yeah, so then this is the one
Oh.
creating the oversight committee. So who's gonna sign? And like I said, I'd like to
We're all.
see that you guys all be on it. You guys have to, again, same thing again, somebody needs to make a motion, second, vote. And then the names of who's gonna be on it will need to go right there, so.
So what does this say that we're gonna do?
You got, that you're going to watch the video,
Okay,
and be educated about it.
okay,
And you're gonna watch me on the books, making sure that I'm not
like what we're doing here.
Mhm.
exactly,
Okay,
and that every year, we're gonna redo this every year, essentially, is all it is. It's, that we're going to
We're gonna keep.
stay up and up on the books, and that I'm not going to
yeah.
steal money,
Straight.
or that
Gonna
you're
be
not,
straight.
you know, that you're not gonna steal money, or, you know, essentially, that we're gonna do
Good.
what we've already all
Yeah.
been doing, right? And that we're not, I
This
can't think of the right
resolution here,
word.
You said.
Yeah, so that's a separate motion. You need to make the motion and read that. Same thing, that we're creating an
For
oversight.
the training.
Yeah,
Thing.
and that you're gonna be trained on it.
I'm gonna make this motion for this township board resolution regarding the system of internal accounting control and designation of an oversight committee. That we do it. Would anyone like to second it?
I'll second it.
Third.
All in favor?
Alright,
And so
Ten.
motion passes. So for
the year-
example,
So this is for the year twenty
this,
twenty-five.
this resolution that you guys just passed, my trustee directive on how I'm supposed to follow the $500, the 2,000, those go together.
Yeah.
You're
We've been doing it.
resolving
Just puts
that
it on paper.
I am going to follow the law. This is me
We did-
confirming that I'm
We
going.
even followed
We're
it
just
at
putting in
under
paper, we're
500.
doing the right thing.
Right,
Exactly right.
yes.
They need the paper proving that we're doing what we're already doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already had to fix $100 discrepancies, so.
Yeah, and it's just like
I
that,
can write
finding the
all three of our names
discrepancies
in here,
and.
right? This isn't a
Yes,
signature.
yeah,
I can
no,
write our
no,
names.
that's a written, yeah. And then so this one, this directive goes with that resolution. And then I have to affirm on this one that I'm gonna do the training.
I'm writing on here that you're doing it.
She was good with it, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thirded it.
26 data.
And I'll sign what I need to sign on here.
Do I sign this one?
All three of us, yeah.
At least try to borrow somebody. I know this is yours, but thank you. I'm always not for remembering a pin.
What day are we at? We're 26, right?
Yes.
So essentially, we'll do this again, but after the first of the year, so that we do it early in the year each time and just get on that cycle, so it
And
is.
this is to keep us potentially getting money that, you know,
Well,
are,
this is another way that I could see, yes.
And we watch the video every year?
I will have to watch the video every year. I would say that it might be a good idea to ask you guys to do the same.
I
Yeah,
understood about half of what they said.
yeah, well, and,
Like, what's that
yeah.
mean? What's that mean? Cause they're like stating the law. It's like, okay,
So those two go to the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's terrible. All right, this goes to that.
very dry.
Well, that's the way it is when you try to email them and get the answers. So, you know, it's. So this is saying that we have created this flow that we're gonna follow. SBOA will be extremely happy with us now.
Cool. We won't have any money to discrepancy because we're trying to spend it as much as we can.
Well,
I'm putting that, these documents are annual requirements that essentially ensure all board members will act ethically regarding the control of funds and assets allocated to the township. Is that fair to say?
Perfect.
I like that condensed version better.
Mhm.
This is just saying that I'm the only one that actually has access to the money.
Right.
Unless you guys want access to it. Yeah,
No.
you want
I
access to
trust
it?
you.
Nope.
Okay,
Do not.
I feel like you get too many hands in a pot.
Yeah.
That's trouble.
well, I mean, that's
Asking
how,
for stuff to come up next, you know?
and honestly, using this software, I don't see how you're gonna be able to do
Right,
it, because if,
makes it hard,
if I can, because if I can't produce that one document that says at the end of every month that the statement's in balance, if I can't produce that, what's called a reconciled report,
Mhm.
you must be really good at paying, and I guess maybe they're just using it to pay people or.
You have no idea. I'm sure it's a rule for a reason, unfortunately.
Some
Oh, yeah.
neighboring counties have had that problem.
Yeah. Well, and
Well,
clearly
that's-
somebody's not spending money at all either, the state wouldn't be coming for 30% of it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm.
All right, so I will get you, I need to write that as a note,
Send us the training links.
training link.
We'll get those refreshed.
And then we will give this back
Watch
to
it,
you.
fill this out.
Yeah.
give it back.
Let me know as you get it watched.
Can you accept digital copies of these? Like if we scan them and mail them back?
Yeah, you can, just make sure you keep track of that one.
Okay, make sure you keep your original.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we can
'cause
bring it
there
to you
was
at the next
a-
meeting, but we.
Yeah, we
Hold
can
on,
bring
let
you
me-
a physical. I just
Yeah.
wanna-
Yeah.
I want you to be able to get it quick.
Because I have to be able to, because
Yeah,
it has to be kept with,
I'm not gonna drive to you and hand deliver it.
yeah, that's
but
fine,
email
or I
it to
could,
you,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. But
I'm
I
gonna come
need
to the
yes.
camera and go, hey, Corey, it's ready.
At 4 a.m.
Yep, I'll still be awake, it's all good.
The only other thing that there was a company up there and if I get into this, capital improvement plan, I don't know, they were really nice and very informative. They're the kind of people that you can call. I don't know exactly what their service would cost, but they do all kinds of stuff like building the budget. They're a full service financial firm. Essentially, if we started using them and I paid them to do it, I wouldn't have to do anything, but maybe come over here and unlock the gate and
Right.
change the bathroom and toilet paper out. But I don't think that's quite fair to the township. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but I may end up having to call that one lady to gain a little knowledge, so.
Get you started off on the right foot.
Yeah, but through the ITA, that I've built some contacts through the ITA that I've been able to phone call and be like, hey, what's this, so.
That's good.
Other than that, let me bring up the old,
Envelope.
these are my old notes.
Those gonna fit in your new file cabinet.
No, they're gonna get thrown away. I'm done.
Okay. You done?
Anybody that has an idea of a band?
Band.
Band.
Are we gonna start a band?
No, I'm not starting a
Oh.
band.
Play here. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I mean, we're,
On your construction. If we not have it before, like before people leave, we make sure that it's not around. that
Oh,
time.
we would for sure try to make sure it's done before.
Oh,
so it doesn't
I'm gonna
interfere
try to
with
get
that.
it done by August so that,
Okay.
Yeah.
because I'm gonna have
We definitely wanna make
yeah.
sure it's ready to rock and roll for you guys.
Mhm.
And
the band I wanted to get, the band that I wanted was gonna make a big draw here. It's like Southern Indiana's top band right now. And Who's Your Daddy? And
heard that name.
Oh, his dad just died.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. So it's not gonna work out. I mean, when they go somewhere, they bring the people, right? And so that's what I wanted to be our opening deal, to make the big splash to get it started.
Mm.
So then as it went along, obviously that's not gonna happen this year. And so I want to bring somebody but it's gonna be a free service to the community. I'm not charging nobody, we're not gonna charge anybody to do it. I've talked with Kindness of Jefferson County. They're gonna, work with us a little bit too. We may end up talking to, depending on who is here and how many hours it's gonna be, we may end up trying to get somebody to do some food or something like that, but anytime, just a big PR event for here, but also, giving back to the,
Community.
to the community. So, and that's why I wanted to try to do Who's Your Daddy, like, cause they can make a big splash the first go around and then make it like something pretty regular, right? So.
Pretty sure I heard you say we were doing a 4th of July party next year with lots of fireworks.
Well,
Oh my God.
I mean,
Be fun though.
Sign
I-
me up.
I-
Don't set any trees on fire.
well, you do know that I mean, I have,
Here on the court.
I actually,
Right.
with the fire department, I actually have access to, not just stuff that you go and buy. Well, we had it at your house before.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
That stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I'm
that's-
talking about.
That's the kind that makes all the neighbors
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it becomes a big deal, I mean, I can leverage that again, so.
Cause not everybody wants to go all the way downtown and stuff too, so. It'd be
Well,
cool to
it'd
have
be
some-
nice
We have
to,
space in a
for our
venue to do something like
community.
this, yeah.
Yeah,
We should do
we're,
it.
this board has always been so centered on doing what's right for us, so
Yeah.
out here, Saluda.
All about it.
that's what I think, and that's why I was wanting to, so any band, I mean, I don't even know, I don't think Dale doesn't play anymore, and I don't even know that we have anybody that's really
Local.
ultra local.
I mean, they do the music every weekend downtown,
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you see it, music,
It's
city of
this
Indiana.
late
Yeah.
game, it's gonna be hard to book anybody this late in the game. In a couple of weeks, it's gonna be hard to book anybody.
Mhm.
Pretty much everybody's booked.
yeah.
So you've
Yeah.
got Rusty
That's
probably.
right.
Does he still play?
Bladen?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he still does.
but yeah.
So we'll
they're both
see if it works out, no, the contractor, he was asking if we were gonna be able to, if he was wanting us to try to get it done by the end of July and when we were gonna try to have that concert date, so. I don't know, it may end up just being, I may end up having to talk to, since it is what it is, I may end up having to just talk to Kindness and seeing if they wanna bring the DJ set out and just DJ live music, you know what I mean? Or DJ,
Day in the park.
music in the park day. Cause Joey, he plays good music. It's not, everybody would enjoy it. It wouldn't just be one or the other. And he'd make it a good day,
Yeah.
so
Would be.
that may end up being what we do, so.
Some lemon shake ups, maybe.
Oh
Mhm.
my God,
Mhm.
food trucks. So,
If my birthday's in that first week of August. Oh yeah, our birthday's the first week of August. Maybe we can have a birthday party.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
With the contractor, I know I brought it up before, making a blessing box out here. Think we could ask him about that. I think that'd be good for our community.
Well, what do you, how big, like, what are you talking about?
Almost like a mailbox
One-
size type of thing, yeah.
Couple shelves in there, canned goods,
People can put whatever
Oh,
they
like
want
donation
stuff in there.
bags,
Yeah.
yeah. Take what you need, leave what you can.
I had thought about that, especially since we've got, we can have it like here in the undercover, just
Yeah.
inside.
Be nice. I just think that'd be so good for us out here. Not everybody can go to Madison to get something if they need it.
I would venture to say, and I need to look into the legality on it, but I would venture to say that we can use assistance funds
Help
To help
stock it.
stock
to
it,
help stock it.
probably.
Be nice.
Yeah.
We've actually had, usually a
That may
surplus
be
on
a-
that budget.
That may be a way that we,
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
we tried to talk about the Christmas
Some year-end
thing
stuff.
before.
Yeah,
Maybe this is a way that can actually come to fruition.
yeah, it'd be great. We need to plan the Christmas thing early if we're gonna do that.
Yeah. I think I'm done. When we're gonna have to look at our calendars, but we don't have to do that during the open meeting, so. I mean,
Okay.
Is it all?
yeah,
All right. I'm going
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Third.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Hopefully this recording worked out well and hopefully it's actually, you can.
So are you
You wanna-
gonna post this somewhere?
Hold on.
I think
hold on.
he's.